Hi guys, just SYNDI here, and welcome to my very first Get Ready With Me. So I am going to show you how I put on my makeup. I had a few people respond back that they would like to see what it is that I do. So that's what I'm going to do. I am an MUE, so please keep that in mind. I'm not a makeup artist, so if you have constructive criticism, please do leave that below. I may or may not take it because I'm kind of learning some different methods anyways right now of doing things. So like I'm gonna bake my under eyes, so and that might end up getting cut out, but just know they will have been baked. Being that I am 44, I had read somewhere that you were not supposed to bake, and then come to find out, watching more YouTube, there are ways to do it. It's just that we gals who are a little older have to just do it it's really ever so slightly different. I really didn't see much of a difference, to be honest with you. So anyhow, I'm in my PJs. Looks like I'm gonna go to bed, but I'm not. This is how I always get ready, so I don't get makeup all over my clothes. So let's go ahead and get into this. First, this is my spray that I make. I start off with it first because it has oils and stuff in it, and as you go along, you don't want, or I don't want, I've had issues when I just had this, or I run out of my samples. I basically think the oil was messing with my eyeshadows. Not positive, but nevertheless. So I'm gonna give this nice spritz. Smells very nice. I use orange, lemon, tangerine. I use a lot of citrus essential oils. Small amounts, very small amounts. So anyways, after I give myself a spritz, and this is of course after I've put on all my moisturizer, then I put on primer, and we're going to use the Dr. Brandt primer that I got in BoxyCharm. Was it January? I think. Everything this, guys, tell me if I'm crazy, but I swear to goodness, this year has just flown by. And I primarily, just so you know, I primarily utilize primer because I've realized it does help your makeup stay longer. My makeup, I never had a real big problem. Well, that's not true. When it gets really hot and I get sweaty, I used to have a problem with the makeup that I used to use. I have these towels. Some of them may appear dirty. They're not. I would not use anything dirty that's going to eventually somehow transfer back to my face. I'm very, very big, if I mentioned it 1,000 times, I'm very big on skincare. So I took one pump of, it's giving me a hard time. I took one pump of my Vibrancy. It's in the shade Dynamic or RG5. I think it's the lightest shade you can get. Pretty much in everything, I am the lightest shade that they have. And I think I've shown this to you guys before. It could have been cut. I'm not sure. But I then also mixed it with my Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. I don't know what it is about the mix of these two for me, but the Josie Maran has argan oil, and she says that people who have oily skin, it's for everyone, can use it. Personally, I would go to Sephora. I'm almost positive they sell Josie Maran. That was on my fingers. I mix it together on there, and I actually forgot to. I also like to throw in something that a glow product, usually whatever hits my hands first. And lately it's been this Manna Kadar, if I'm saying that correctly. And I happen to have two of these, which I think I mentioned in my Look Fantastic. No, is that's a bad word now to me. In my Beauty Fix box, I believe I got one, and I don't know where I got the first one from, but since that is a highlighter, if I have anything left on my fingers, I kind of go to places that we would normally highlight, but really I'm giving myself an overall luminescence. So let me get in here. And I just realized I'm doing this the opposite of what I wanted to, because this is my habit, guys. This is for most people, at least in my age range, I would say. Maybe you younger guys who are used to baking, which I actually just learned as an old technique. I don't know why my grandma didn't show me that. My grandma wore makeup. My mom, no. But someone was talking about, and I wish I remember who I was watching so I could give them credit, and I need to start paying attention to that so I can give them credit for, for watching, letting them know that I'm watching, and thanks for the tip. It's helpful. You can also see in the background, and I know some people don't do this, but I do. And it typically works out for me, so I use quite a bit of setting powder for my foundation, and then I've just started baking again, so forgive me on my technique of baking. And I'm gonna look up here in the mirror. This is the best idea I could come up with. I'm actually filming on the iPad I won. Finally figured out something that could sit in front of me. I have it stacked up on a couple of boxes, and then I have my mirror, my big, bathroom mirror. Just plain old vanity, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to afford to get a proper vanity. A proper beauty room is not likely to be in the near future, unless my son for some reason moves out suddenly, but I don't think he's going to. Not that I want him to either. So I go down. There's not much left in the beauty blender there. I mean, there is actually a lot of product in there, which we all know when you go to clean them, you find out there's a lot of product, but not a lot comes out. But I like to go down to my décolleté, down my neck, get behind my ears, get the front of my ears, so everything is nice and blended. what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm looking in the mirror, and then y'all can kind of see what I'm doing, hopefully, and hopefully that will work here in a little bit when we get into especially eyeshadow particularly. And I will almost promise you I will have some whoopses with my mascara. I do almost every day of my life, so it is something that I have become accustomed to. I had to rinse off my beauty blender, and then there's always product that like comes to the surface, I've noticed. And you know, I probably do things all wrong, but I clean my, every time I use my every time I use, this is not a beauty blender, this is actually from Tarte. I got it from QVC with I ordered Shape Tape. Yeah. We're gonna start off with, I didn't spray my face in between. I typically do in between primer and putting on foundation. So I'm gonna give it a quick spritz. I know that sounds really weird, but I'm about to put concealer on. So anything with fine lines, you know, underneath your eyes. I have found the MAC Prep and Prime Fix. This stuff works really well if for some reason I do end up getting creases, because I'm at the point that I'm so into it that I'm trying it with different items. I'll show you what I'm using as I go along. I'll try to, you know, not link it below, but list it below, but it gets to be a lot, and some of it is possibly irrelevant. I got this, and many of you, anybody who's had BoxyCharm since early last year this time, we got this highlight and contour palette, which I obviously like. The highlights I don't love a lot. They're a little kind of chunky, but it's not glittery. I don't know, it's kind of weird. They just go on like a big glob of unmilled powder like this, but unmilled. Like, I mean, even I have, you know, powders that are in something like this, which I grabbed the wrong thing. Correct brand. Wrong item. So let's get this baking going. Actually, I'm going to look in the mirror, and I'm probably going to have to get closer then. We'd really like to see. I have a lot of, this is BH Studio Pro concealer. I'm not going to say why, but it wasn't my fault. Okay. I ordered 2 and I got 4. So, let me rewatch this. So that was a oops on their mistake, yeah, on their part, and I'm sure things happen that are not in my favor all the time. I meant to contact them. I'm actually that type of person that I'll contact them and say, hey, you know, blah blah blah, got too much, and typically most companies, they don't want it back because they don't know if you utilized it or not. They're gonna just trash it. So, and then, you know, a lot of them will pay for shipping and handling to return items, especially items that you didn't ask for. So that's the only way I would have returned it. I mean, I'm not gonna pay for shipping and handling because you accidentally sent me too many. So anyways, I have 4 4 tubes of that, and that's just this brand. So I'm trying to see if this works with my loose translucent powder. I don't think I have any other translucent powder. I have some Bare Minerals powder. One more caught it over here. Yeah, let's just use this guy. This is what I've been using. So I topped it off, and I don't want it over too far there, but plenty of powder in here. I'm gonna look at the mirror while I do this. And like, did people stop doing this? Because it is so messy. But it is. If it works right, and I've had it go wrong to where I just took it off. I was in such a hurry for work, but like I was totally creased. You know, I had total. You could totally see my creases. But I watched a lady last night who I know that I have the last several videos that I watched, so if I remember, I'll link the videos that I've watched just in case any of you are interested in them. And I'm all for supporting other YouTubers, you know, especially as small guys, you know, with the whole monetization. I do it for fun. But, you know, I'm not going to lie. Would I like to make money off of it? At least, that just wet my nose. At least enough to help pay for, you know, giveaways for you guys. Yeah, of course. Because, you know, giveaways are expensive. I think I already mentioned the March giveaway. And as you can see, she pointed out, you'll see that you see the creasing at first, and then it starts going away. So we'll see. If not, I have my handy dandy. This worked the other day. I sprayed just a tiny bit on, and then it worked beautifully. So I suppose that's why they call it N-Fix or Fix Plus. So there's not a ton I can do right now. And by the way, I don't bake my face, so I can do that. I mean, I guess I sort of do. I mean, I do this motion. I first do a motion, but it's not like I put a ton of powder on. I know that I am fortunate in that I have nice skin, and yes, I put it all over my eyeballs, and you often see me if I do get ready with me, my eyes start to water. If anyone knows of a solution for watery eyes while putting on makeup, I'm a little worried I might be allergic to some of the eyeshadows, because that's when it tends to start to happen. Like when either from fallout or I've gone underneath my eye to line it with a color. But it didn't do it the other night. I've started trying a new trick, because I take Claritin. Is that on evenly? Yeah. Okay. So I do that, and I guess I do kind of let it bake, but not for very long. And I still have a little left in here, but I go through powder like crazy. And actually, I had a sample of Dermablend. I really, really like that. Please give me some suggestions of some other powders you guys like. I know the Coty Airspun is inexpensive. I have not tried it, so I'm planning on trying that. And then let's see, The Dermablend powder, I've tried a sample of that. It ran out quickly. Actually, I don't know, it disappeared. I still had a little left, I thought, but I don't know. With all the stuff I have, who the heck knows? So, I'm trying to think. It seems like there's one more. But anyways, if you have suggestions on, oh, Born This Way, I've heard that that's a really great setting powder. But I also read that, was it Estee Lauder that purchased them, and because they do their makeup in China, that China requires animal testing. So, you know, I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, but I don't believe in, you know, if, you know, back in my day, back in the 80s, you know, this is what I end up doing next, guys. Is, yes, it's sort of a bake, but it's not like I've made myself look like more of a ghost than I already am. I'm just making sure that the foundation is nice and covered. And right now it's hot in my apartment right now. I don't know. Oh, I was complaining I was cold earlier. That's what it was. So I'll let that bake for a few more minutes. So what I'm gonna do is show you this is what I do for my contour. This is for the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love this stuff. Absolutely love it. It is an item that you can find at the drugstore or your grocery store. But it is a little pricier. So, you know, definitely try to catch this on sale if you can. If you can catch it on sale, then you're doing good. So I'm just going to do, this is what I typically do. I do a lot of repetitiveness when it comes to my, blush, highlighter, and bronzer, contour, whatever you want, however you want to put it. I mean, I guess I would call this part bronzing, and then when I go around my face and my nose, contouring, technically. But I do put it on. I do put on like it's blush. And I could get away with just using bronzer. Thought about it. I like a little bit of, you know, your pink or mauve kind of color. Just a tad at least. I don't use a ton of blush. Although sometimes I do get heavy-handed and then I'm spending forever evening up. As you can see, I mean, technically this is the contour part, right, guys? So I'm bronzing and contouring at the same time. Oh, and this brush right here, this is my favorite brush that I found to do this. I saw someone using this, I believe. It's the, sorry, I hope I wasn't out of frame for too long there, but you'll get the idea, guys. This is the e.l.f. It's backwards. The e.l.f. contouring brush. The e.l.f. contouring brush. So there you go. So that I won't be utilizing this again. So I'm just gonna set that to the side, and then I'm going to put, it's got powder all over it, Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten in Cherry Truffle. I love this color. I'm almost out. Well, not really, because even though, I mean, it was a huge mound when I got it, but I probably had it a year. And, you know, we get so many blushes, you know, if you have BoxyCharm. I'm speaking as if everyone has it. But I go in with a very soft hand. Even if I already know
what the blush looks like. But I do like that pop of color. And I am one of the few people that at least that I've heard, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm one of the few people, but I don't mind shimmer pretty much in anything. Seriously, you can probably put sparkles in my fountain. Maybe not sparkles, but, you know, you could put shimmer in foundation and I'd be okay with it. So this is how I does it. So, you know, if you have better ideas, you know, that's fine. And everybody does their makeup different. There's really no wrong way for a MUE to do their makeup wrong. At least that's my belief, you know. And probably really for no one, as long as you feel good about it in the end. Sorry guys, I had to check there my side. So I mean, and that was a little misleading what I said. I don't use a lot of blush. Yeah, I kind of do. Just looks like I don't, unless I've gone in too heavy-handedly. You know what, real quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and let's check out how this baking is going. Looks like it's okay. Oh god, all that powder. This is where sometimes my eyes will get, that's why I'm closing my eyes. This is sometimes where my eyes will start to get irritated at the beginning. Not even necessarily baking, but when I'm putting any powder on. Anyhow, this is what I do. It looks fine, except you can see, getting up close, you can see my lines. So this is my next step in my routine anyways. This is why I was doing it just because I heard to wet your brush with your highlighter. Well, that didn't work out really well. It kind of chunked up in one place. So let's do it the other way around. I spray my face and then I put my highlighter on. And these are torn up. I just ordered another one of these. Wet n Wild Blossom Glow. I love this. And then I ordered that from Ulta. They did not have these. Last I checked, Wet n Wild had these still. And you used to have a heart. I think they have one that's in purple. And then purple I just don't think will do well. I mean, pinks. Silver really highlights very well. Or satiny white looking highlights also tend to look well on me. Tend to. If you get BoxyCharm and you got the Pure Cosmetics face palette, I believe they called it, with the bronzer, the blush, and the highlighter, I have hit pan on that highlighter. So if nobody else liked it, I do. I really, I ended up, I think if I recall correctly, it's a little more than I usually spray, but I'm trying to make sure I get under my eyes without getting it completely in my eyes. There you see, guys, it looks much better. Just so you know, if you use a lot of powder products, this will help to mash them in as well. So I start off with a light hand, and I'm having trouble picking up from, because this is, I mean, there's still a good amount in there, but it's on the side. So And I have a lot of highlighters. I mean, I don't have as many as some, but I probably have about 10 highlighters. And I always reach for these. And these are not the first highlighters I ever owned. The first highlighters, my first highlighters that I ever owned were from Vintage. They were in BoxyCharm, in 2016, I think, towards the end of the year. Because I just kind of was like, highlighter, what? And I saw the, unicorn drops, and it looked really pretty. I've always been very attracted to sparkly things. That sounds funny. I don't even have a diamond, but I do like sparkly things. Like shoes, and I've never had a purse with sparkles, but I wouldn't mind owning one. So I do this kind of lazy, my going down my nose, I know, but it works for me. And then my chin there. And you didn't contour. Going to in a minute. So I tend to use both of these colors. I don't know. I just like the mix of them. And then what I end up doing is my last step before is my face, other than lips, is I then again blend it out with just a small bit of translucent powder. So I hope y'all are able to see that. I know it looks not very well blended, but it will be. Everything is always a work in art, right guys? We're all works of art. We might be in transition. I do actually, let me show you. I do actually blend it out, and I don't know how well it's going to show up for the camera, but you'll see what it is that I do. I'm a bit of a messy Molly when it comes to it, but I've had comments on how people like my highlight. Well, this is how I do it. So I don't know that I ever watched a tutorial on how to do highlighter. So there you go. So there's that. This is what this is looking like. There you go. Sorry, I keep looking over to that side because I'm used to my phone. So I apologize. The camera is over here. So now I'm going to contour with the Highlight and Contour Palette by IBY Beauty. And have y'all noticed? Oh, and I'm going to use this fluffy brush. It's a It Cosmetics fluffy brush. I think I started getting in on this just a second ago, or way back. You may want to look into QVC if you are in need of like really, good brushes. And It brushes, they are expensive and they hold up. I've had this for probably almost 2 years now. I got it with my very first translucent powder. I was on what they call auto delivery, where they send it to you every so many months. And they also have something called Easy Pay. Here I am talking them up. I would love to get some PR from them. It'd be great. Try some of their new products. I'd love to show you guys. But anyways, they had this really great sale, and so I got this brush with the powder, and it was lower than the normal price. But I recently realized that they either I was just so excited about the brush, and I didn't check Ulta. Plus, I was paying on auto delivery. I was on auto delivery. I was paying on the Easy Pay. and it was broken up into like 5 payments, so it was like $5 a month. But you have to pay shipping. Not always. Now, sometimes when they have these like beauty specials going on, sometimes shipping will be free, or maybe it'll be free for certain items. Anyways, I just dug into, Contour 2. That's the second lightest, and then there's the lightest, and that's the darkest. I'm sorry, that's the darkest. There's medium, there's the lightest. And I know I don't like, but I go very light. Now, I get a little rougher down here on my jawbone, and then I go behind my ears, down my neck. And yes, I even go in the back, because if there's some streak that I cannot see, I do not want someone else to notice that. And so now the light is not showing it, but I look super tan. Probably should have gone with that lighter one. I think I've been indoors a lot lately. Not like that's anything new, but I've just seemed even lighter lately than usual. And I'll end up using this again, as well as this, because what I'm going to do now is I've always done a version of this. I just used to use CoverGirl, the pressed powder. And I went through pressed powder like crazy. Drive my husband nuts. Gibby would go crazy. More so when I asked him to stop and pick it up, because I was quite busy and often realized, like, you realize a few days before and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick that, because I did the grocery shopping. I'm gonna pick that up over the weekend, when I do grocery shopping, and then I'd forget. And then a lot of times on the weekend, I didn't wear a lot of makeup, and then realized Monday morning, I'm scraping for powder, having to be very, very light-handed. And even then, I back then I really had what I had to work with. So I always had an interest in makeup. I think I've said this before, but I don't know, something in me just, I guess it's with all the unicorn and all that sort of it drew me in. Yeah, I guess that's what you could say. So now I look fairly normal on camera, and actually I look fine here, but again, I do use a lot of my MAC Prep and Prime spray. Here, at this point, I would have possibly used my Mario Badescu. And I love this, guys. This is $12 for 8 ounces. It's like unheard of. And I'm sure, I haven't read I'm looking at it real quickly. Other than the fragrance, it's a lot. It's very similar to what I make. Except I don't see like oils. Use aloe water, coconut water, and then essential oils, glycerin, and water, spring water, mineralized water. So I'm gonna have to go in again, and it being nice and wet at this point is actually not a bad thing, especially with my talking. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm gonna need to let that dry. I should have let that dry and then did the next, but it doesn't matter. you know, these sprays, a lot of them are, they're good for you, and they're good for your skin. So, you know, I don't mind. That's why finding something so reasonably priced is why, well, you'll see. But y'all let me know if y'all like Mario Badescu. I should have polled you guys last night. So I go in again. I know, seems silly. Fairly lightly, but it doesn't look very light. It's like kind of double the process. I don't know. I've always done this, guys. I've always done this methodology of layering. You know, essentially layering makeup just like we do eyeshadow. You know, where you can't even tell there's like a tan color underneath there that you started off with, much less maybe the, you know, cream color you started off with. You can't tell, but there's a reason, a rhyme to it. And for me, expertise wise, can I tell you? No. For me, it works. My makeup stays put, and then I also run a little bit more powder contour. Now, do I do this all the time? No, of course not. We all do our makeup a little differently, and usually on this second run, you'll see I'm using the fluffy brush to go where also the blush is, and the light is lightening this. It's pretty dark. It's like I go through 2 steps of it, and I don't know what I did with my, oh, there it is. Okay. With my, it seems like I did the 1 step too many, but it's all good. This is just, to me, I like to see people get ready, and I like to hear people talk about their struggles, their lives, so that I feel like I kind of know you. It sounds stalker crazy-ish a little bit, I guess, but I know I'm not copying, you know, like I actually like that too. Anyways, but I do like that, but I love watching just people put on their makeup, because beauty gurus to small channels like mine, everyone does something a little different, it seems. And I forgot to contour my nose. I always forget to contour my nose, and of all places it probably needs contouring, other than my neckline definitely does. But anyways, basically this is how my makeup stays all day, is by doing the layering. I wouldn't have to do a foundation 12-hour test, I don't think, on any foundation. If you ever wanted to see me do it, that's fine. But all the stuff I put on top of it, it's most likely going to be fine. The best time for me to do something like that, though, is during the summer, because it gets so hot here, and really the test would be, can it stand up to the Texas heat? Because if it can do that, it's doing pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wet my face now one more time, and I'm going with it. And this is not a light spray, and you can hold it, if you hold it away from you, like the directions probably say, it's not that bad. Oh, and because I'm not usually talking, it doesn't tastes a little chemically, but it tastes a little sweet too. So then I usually go back in with just a tad bit of highlighter. I absolutely love Blossom Glow. Even though it doesn't look like, it looks like I love the other one more. But I think at first I was like, I don't like that one. So
but I liked it enough to where I wanted to use it, and then I don't know, I just started using it more than this guy here. So I'll be happy as long as I can find one or the other. And I have, I think, Crown of My Canopy petal. I don't know, there's two with the name. And guys, I'll put this on my lips. I did it by accident. I think it was my first video. I did it by accident. And it actually gave my matte lipstick, that whatever I wore, I can't remember. It was a darker red to berry color. It gave it this little sheen that was kind of unique. So there's a tip that I found out by accident that you may already know, and you're going, oh, Cindy, I already know that. Well, that's fine. But for those who don't in the classroom, you now know. Even if it was just me and I'm all by myself. So give me a second here to kind of, I'm in kind of a neat read, not completely. I'm type A. So I like to put my stuff kind of away as I go along when I transition into eyes. Let's hop into my eyes. What I've been doing lately is we got this sample of the brows. The brow power, but this is just like the regular one. And then the other one, let's see if I can find the name on there. I don't know if it's showing up, but it's the brow power. It's a skinny one. Can't believe it say skinny in this house. It's almost like a bad word. So I always comb through my brows first. I don't have a ton of brows, but I am grateful for what I do have. Okay guys, I'm back, and there's step 1 of my brows. You can see that's just with the wider, it's like wide and flat, and a lot of people say that they don't find this creamy, and I bought quite a while back. Here's a good chance for a first impression. I bought this quite a while back and have not been utilizing that. This is how I am. I'm terrible about, I pick things up and then I don't use them maybe immediately, and it's because of the packaging. I just love this. This reminds me of not really my childhood, but things like I would find like that my dad or my mom maybe had, and it kind of does remind me of the metal lunch boxes that I did have that I did slide. We had this little tiny ditch, I guess, for water runoff. One of the mini schools I went to, this was in Del Rio, Texas, and the kids, while we were waiting for the bus, we would slide on our lunch boxes down the embankment, which was only about 2.5, 3 feet. It wasn't far. Probably not enough to get hurt, but with what I do, I'm not going to say that 100% sure you couldn't get hurt, because yes, there's always a possibility of getting hurt. So this has the 3D brow tones. I don't know, when I went, they this was I think this is back in January. They didn't have the, well, no, they have the Bravo, because the Bravo's in here. I forgot what the other product was called, and maybe this is it, but I don't think it was 3D brow tones, but it was just, you know, like a brush on brow product. And I've been wanting to try that forever. I watched my daughter use it, and this conditioning, would this help me have more eyebrows? Of course it would. So actually I need to just leave it out. And then it even came with I've seen these kits way back to when I had Birchbox. They just would always be sold out of them. So this is a really nice, that is a nice spoolie. Whoa, I have to set, let me set this down. That is a nice spoolie. Can you see? They even have it brown and black, so I guess kind of no matter what color you use, it mixes. And that is firm. And just for me, just perfect. Like, well, I wouldn't go down like that, but you know, that is just perfect. Wow. Okay. You're getting moved. You're getting moved to the front of the line because I do actually have, oh, is it called a Cabral? It's the pomade from Benefit, and I like that. Have I ever used the ABH brow pomade? The answer is no, but I want to. Have nothing against ABH, just the prices are. It's not that they're really ridiculous. I've heard that, you know, you get a good product. So if you get a good product, you know, I mean, there are some things that I find to be ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go back off and do this, but I will be back. I'm back, guys, and this didn't have a spoolie with it, but of course it came with the nice brush with the spoolie. So if you're interested in one of these kits, look for the one with the brush. I don't know if all of them have the brush or not. I know it was like right at 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock. But I wanted to try that out. I'm going to just take it out of here and put it in. I wanted to try this out for the longest time because I've heard that Benefit and ABH, I want to try out their pencil too. To me, the products were similar except for the fact I get what people are complaining about, that I've heard people say it's just that it brow and skinny brow products are not as creamy, or I've heard just not creamy. They're creamy, they're just not as creamy. So if you're used to, you know, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say ABH is really creamy. I have almost finished my brows. I just need to comb them through. Usually before this, but I've been chit-chatting. What I try to do, I did not scrub my lips. I should have, but I'm not going to do it now. But this will help, because what I do is basically moisturize my lips with, this is the NYX, this is everything, the rose oil. Next, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with, I'm using Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the original. Oh, I lied. I have, this is the other Urban Decay product I own, because in order to get my birthday present that they were holding hostage, I'm kidding. It was actually very nice of them, because I had literally just signed up. I'm gonna put some down and then I use a concealer brush too. I don't always use this. I have a Too Faced Insurance. God, what is the other one I use? And then, of course, we all know you can use your concealer, which I'd already had done, but I'm just doing this for good measure. And you know what, guys? I'm going to put that away. I'm going to just use my fingers. It works much faster for me than a concealer brush, and I usually get a little bit more accurate because the corner of my eyes right here is where, you know, I mean, that's where, of course, we have a
tear duct gland there. I mean, duh. But, you know, primarily most people, it's coming out of this one. My watery eyes, a lot of times it's coming down this side. And I cannot tell you how many times I have, like, you know, I'm not gonna brag and say I'm slaying it or anything, but I feel pretty good about what I pulled off. Because, I think I've mentioned I'm working on my creativity. I'm a little creative, but I'm not, you know, a ton creative. I did a look with the Wild palette the other night. Because, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, you know, I feel like hopefully I can be. I was a little, I'm a little afraid, like, how is this going to turn out? Because I've had looks where, you know, I put together colors where I'm like, because we all know that what they look like here, what they look like swatched, doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I did swatch them, and, oh, wait, this is the one. This one actually turned out beautiful. Siobhan, it's your lucky night. We're going to be working with Wild. Take this off. And these are the lovely colors. This is Face Candy. And from what I remember, I did a couple of looks the other night. I did 2. There's a lot of fallout. The cleanup on aisle 10 will work. So I'm trying to remember what I went in with. Oh, wasn't that? Oh, I know what I went in with. Okay. And if I don't recreate the same look, that's fine. But it was pretty, I thought. Gonna go in with Whirl, which this is like, from what I'm seeing, upside down and backwards. It's a very light pink color. See, I mean, I don't know if you can see how much. You seeing that? I saw it. So this I'm just gonna put all over the lid. You see it flying off of there? Now I did get my brush in there, and luckily this is a light shade, but nevertheless, that is a lot. And this is, I like to, whatever's kind of left over, gently brush underneath.
Next, we're going to go in with, I know I use that on my lids. I know. Yeah, this is actually a pretty simple look, because I'm going to go in first with Untamed, and then I'm going to go in with Hot Mess. I mean, and you really, with Face Candy, and Bad Habit you do a little bit, but with Face Candy, I mean, literally, it looks like I have a potted eyeshadow over here. They weren't working so well either the other night. They're working better. I didn't prime. I was just like, I couldn't sleep. It was really late. I couldn't sleep, so I was like, let me just throw on a look at my eyes and I'll just take it right back off. And that's exactly what I did. And I was hoping that when they were primed that it would lay down better, and it is. Because what you're seeing here, like, to get to this level took, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of really, and it really not, I'm going very gently here. I don't even have to dig my brush back in. There's so much fallout.
trying to go up a little bit higher. I kind of have hooded eyes, or maybe I just do. Those who are experts can tell me. They're very squinty, and I have to be careful. I mean, sometimes I just don't care. I just think, this like blue eyeshadow is really pretty, and I'm just gonna wear it, and it may not open up. It might work well with my green eyes, may not. Just depends, of course. But most of the time, I'm trying to create a pretty look. I've gotten into color. Bright, yes. Juvia's palette, obviously. I'm sorry. Juvia's Place, obviously, I like color. I have the Zulu palette as well. If I didn't mention that before, I have the Zulu. I just got Deuce and Festival. This is Hot Mess, and I'm using the same brush. I'm not going to put a lot on, so I apologize, guys, but I want to make sure this turns out at least halfway decent. All I'm doing is, let me get it laid down here on this eye. There's no optical illusions here. I don't have somebody I'm paying over off to the side doing my makeup for me. I wish. Although I rather enjoy doing my makeup. And I went too far down on my lid, but hopefully it won't matter. Because I'm going to be using a completely different color. It was lovely. I had to actually, I was going to tweet you guys and ask which one, and then I was like, no, I like this one. So this is when I pull out my handy dandy, where are you, highlighting brush to sweep away excess. And I found it helpful if you're like a newer YouTuber, you haven't done a get ready with me, which I did my one with skincare, and skincare for me is like my comfort zone. Makeup, I'm comfortable doing it myself, but not for the whole world to see. So, well, that's why I was asking, does anybody really want to see it? And, everybody, it probably would go viral if it was a disaster anyway, so. It's not looking that way, but it might. Next color. Dun, dun, dun. Is going to be, this was what this is a pretty, to me this is a pretty orange look that I could have brought that Hot Mess down and deepened it up a little bit, and then put a highlight on my brow bone, or even gone without, and throw some mascara on and had a look. But I wanted to take it a little further. This other color, which is called Disorder. Hot Mess, Disorder, and Whirl. What does that say about me? What does it say about me? What does it say? I have a disorder. I have a whirling hot mess disorder. So I'm going in with a wet brush. This is a shimmer shade. Could be metallic. I don't know. It doesn't look metallic. They have a few. Either they have it's a really chunky metal. Let's see right there. Is that a Storm right here? See how chunky that is? This is the color I'm using. Of course, it's wet right now, but that's the other color. And there's a pink that's a shimmer. Oh, I don't know. It's pretty close. Getting it all over me. That's another reason I keep these for just all kinds of stuff. Looks like it ate most of my eyeshadow. Let's just see. I felt fallout. Fallout, people. I think the brush, I'm going to try wetting the brush more. Perhaps that's what it needs. I don't know. Or perhaps face candy is just a one-time use only if you wet it. I don't know. I just don't know what's up with face candy. Pretty colors, pigmentations there. Terrible fallout on all that I've used. That's why with Amazonian and what is it, Amazonian and I'm gonna have to do this off camera, sorry. Okay guys, so right now here's the look for you. I'm going to come back when it's all done. You can see the fallout on my face. I'm having some technical issues. It'll be fine, I'll be able to fix it. But I need to switch to a smaller brush and stuff like that to get it all nice and cleaned up, and I will be back. Okay guys, this is the almost finished look here. I'm gonna throw on some highlighter, as you can see. So I'll be back. Hey guys, I just wanted to tell you that I had a little oops with my mascara. Not this one, but I used, if I have time, I actually use a primer, which I didn't use a primer tonight, but I used Tarte and Benefit Rollerball. Those are my two faves, at least for right now, but that could change. I really like this brush. It's just that I have it because I have really short lashes. So you can see the dirty Q-tip here. Whenever, which I'm sure you've seen this in other people's videos, but just in case you're new here to YouTube and haven't heard this tip, because I hadn't heard it quite this way. I'd always heard grab a Q-tip, grab one quick. No, just chill, just keep putting on your mascara, and just make sure that the mascara that you, wherever you got it, is dry, and take a Q-tip or something similar. Hopefully you have something laying around that you can, something clean laying around that you can use. You know, cotton ball might be a little hard, but maybe one of those throwaway wedges, something like that, just so you can kind of get in there without taking off too much makeup that you've already worked so hard to put on. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you that tip real quick. Okay, so real quickly, I have this clean towel here. I'm going to wipe off, it does kind of really pat off the rose oil that I put on earlier. And then I'm going to put a lipstick on, and then I'll be back with just my final look. Hey guys, I'm back, and hopefully that you like the look. This is what I look like when I have time to do my makeup. And this is actually, I think I've told you before, but this is my real hair. I don't have a perm or anything like that. I used to perm my hair a long time ago, and actually I got pregnant while I had a perm and it never came out. That's my joke. But what I've read is some women who already are genetically predisposed to have curly or wavy hair. My father has like curly wavy hair. It will, with hormones, and sometimes it will happen with boys too, that they will develop, their hair will suddenly become curly. Actually, my son's hair was always very straight. Now, we never grew it out, so I don't really know. But he has been growing out, and it's wavy. He has my hair. He has my hair color pretty much and everything, so kind of nice to have a little clone. So Here is a close-up of the eye look. Oh, and I wanted to show you a real quick trick. This is Flower Shop. Hopefully this will work. If it messes up, you already saw the final look, so. But ColourPop is great for kind of doing the halo eye. I call it a lazy halo eye. Just gently pop with your finger. Is that showing up? We'll see. So there you go. It does give a little bit more sheen to it. Thank you so much from Just SYNDI. I'm gonna cut this video down as much as I can. My first getting ready with me, and I'm Chatty. So yeah, it's kind of long. And if there's anything else that you guys want to see, other than my hair go cockatoo, which it's not this time, it was from these rollers did that because my hair was like an even tighter curl. There was nothing, I didn't even know what was happening. And I was like, when I was watching the film, I'm like, I got dressed and ready to go to the show, and that's just what it's gonna be, because I'm just SYNDI. I have screw-ups just like everyone else. So anyways, y'all have a great night. Thanks so much for watching. Love y'all. Hit that subscribe button before you leave. Also, give me a thumbs up, and look for the link below for this month's contest. Thanks so much. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day. And there it is again for you.